The mere fact that they can look up in the sky and see things flying around, but they don't see Yahweh flying around or angels, normally, or anything. They don't see any of that. There must be different levels.
He says, did the biblical authors believe there were 7 heavens or 3 heavens?
I think it depends on who they were reading and what the writers, what the Second Temple writers were trying to express. I mean, you get these levels of heaven from Old Testament language about Yahweh inhabiting the heaven of heavens. Phrases like this, where you've got this layered or this multiplied sort of feel to it. I think if you're sticking with biblical cosmology, you have a 3-tiered universe, a 3-tiered system. But as time goes on, this gets elaborated on. Heavens, the heavens were the skies, but this is also the language of the supernatural world, which humans don't get to experience. And so it's open to speculation. Heaven is where God lives. It's not only where God lives, it's where all supernatural beings, whether they're good or evil, live. They live in that world over there. Okay, and it has to, heavens is just a shemayim, is just a generic term, not only for the sky that the birds and other flying, animals inhabit, but also this sphere of supernatural domains, the supernatural realm. And even in the New Testament, there are bad guys there, the prince of the power of the air. Okay, we have dark, sinister powers in the heavenlies, plural. We have these references in Ephesians like that. So I think they thought that the spiritual world, if we're talking about heavens in that way, has lots of locales. And some texts tried to articulate 7, others tried to articulate 3. Again, I think the 3 is closer to Old Testament cosmology, but I'm not willing to just restrict it to that either, because the plural language later on, it doesn't often get restricted to 3, it's just plural. So I don't really, I guess I'm wondering why the question even matters. Because what they're doing is they're trying to think about a placeless place. The heavens can't, these heavenly levels, the heavens of heaven where God dwells. We don't look up in the sky and see Yahweh, so he must be in part of the heavens that are beyond what we're looking at. So he's in the heavens of heavens, the heavenliest of heavens, the most heavenly heavens. All these phrases you get from the Old Testament. The highest heaven. Well, what is that? They don't know. They don't know. They're just articulating the fact that they can look up in the sky and don't see Yahweh floating around. But he still must be up there, because again, the celestial world, the world that isn't the world of men, must be the world of the gods. This is why gods live in places that humans can't. This is why you have deities come from the sea, because humans don't live there. It's not fit for human habitation. Even mountains, humans don't live there. There's no REI. Nobody's buying mountain climbing gear in ancient Israel. Nobody's going up to the top of these mountains. Okay, they're remote. They're distant. They're where people aren't. Mm-hmm. And where people aren't, the gods must be. This is just the conception. And so, again, by the mere fact that they can look up in the sky and see things flying around, but they don't see Yahweh flying around, or angels, normally, or anything, they don't see any of that. There must be different levels. It's a reasonable thought, but how much should we base our doctrine on, as far as, is it 7 or is it 3? Again, they were all speculating, because they needed some layering up there to explain not only what they do see, but what they can't see. Again, this must be the gateway somehow. The clouds, through the clouds or something, must be the gateway to get to the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, because this is, and we shouldn't think of these people as primitive. We still do this. We still talk about God being up there. You know, in all of our modern sophistication, we talk about God being in heaven, God being up there or over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we still do this because we don't live there. Okay, we know that it's not the terrestrial world. So it's another world. It's the world of, again, supernatural beings.